Welcome to the podcast of disaster. I'm your host JCR1216, and joining me are my co-hosts.
Quarter 437.
Your name, you already know me.
And this is Fun Flip the Cartoon.
And we have the finale to the year. We have the ultimate 2025 retrospective for Sonic in the Big 25. Man, it's been one heck of a year, guys. I will say. We had the podcast start, but we have the podcast 1 year later thing a little bit further down the line in January, which is an entire year away. But yeah, this year has definitely been interesting. Well, I guess we could just start off with if you had to describe this year for Sonic in one word, what would you describe it as?
It was
Good
alright.
answer.
I don't know. Groundbreaking? Maybe I don't know. Maybe not.
How would you describe Sonic in one word this year? Silence. Okay.
What? I said groundbreaking, but then I was like, well, I don't know if that's actually the word.
I was going to say innovative in more ways than one.
Well, those are like the same thing, basically.
Yeah. Some things that happened in January. The Sonic Symphony ended its massive run that it went on. We're gonna do an episode about it next year because it's like the 1 year anniversary of it ending, and we need anniversary stuff. But yeah. What were your guys' like overall like brief thoughts about the Sonic Symphony? I thought it was a really cool idea.
I wish I could have gone to like some of them, but it just never worked out, unfortunately.
There's so much fun to be had when you're there, and like depending on when you go, it's like not every show is the same, which is a good thing. But I will say that some people got songs that I wish I wanted to hear. Some people got songs that I'm pretty sure I was like original to. Like I don't think it was during Year of Shadow during like the main run, and then up until the beginning of this year, it was just like whatever they had going on. It was just all I can say is that not everyone's experience is the same, obviously, but like the whole experience that you get to go to, especially when you get to like talk to other Sonic fans, you get to like see everyone just come together for this sort of stuff. When it's like, oh wow, I can't believe I don't have to just go on the internet to interact with people. It's it's fun in that sense of finally getting to be around people who like enjoy the hedgehogs and the eggs and all that. As much as I can put a positive spin on it, anyways.
Yeah. Let's spin over to the comic side of things, not the big comic thing, but the little comic thing. We had the Scattered Pieces arc begin. We had it announced right after the the big thing, the writers arc that we had talking about everybody splitting up. And that leads us to 76, where I got to do the funny where there was this joke I was running with a lot of 2024, where it was just like, Iblis Rizzer, Silver gets everybody to date him, like that type of thing. I even got the awesome Adam Bryce Thomas to draw some art of it, which was pretty funny. But they kind of came into fruition with that one panel with all of them hugging Silver, and I got pinged so many times that day. That was hilarious. But I know not everyone. I think everyone besides Lord M wasn't in the podcast when that issue came out. What were your guys' thoughts on 76?
I mean, it was okay. I don't think it was like the best issue ever. Granted, also I haven't actually read like most of the issues, so I'm not like fully caught up on the entire story. But for what it was, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. Anyways, at least my experiences of reading it, I thought I enjoyed it. It was alright.
Well, for the starters, we had a little base date, and
oh yeah, that was cool.
And there was almost a little controversy because one of the parts they're having like kind of day there was Aurora Borealis. I don't know how to pronounce it in English.
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, that.
At this time of day.
Yeah, and there was
at this time of year, completely in your kitchen.
Yeah, and
you don't get that reference, Lord M, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people.
Yes, I know. It's the Simpsons. I know.
Oh, you too have played Fortnite.
And then we have the little people apologizing and talking.
I will say it was nice to see Silver. I like to see Silver and Whisper getting their justifiedness. That was nice.
Justifiedness. I mean, I'm never gonna stop bringing this up. But if Silver listen to Whisper to wait, they could have been already called Mimic. But no, Silver eager ass went to attack. Then we have a fight, and people start blaming Yanoin because she got deceived. but mostly was Silver's fault because he gave a free pass to Mimic to it fooled everyone. In fact, Yanoin should apologize to them because it was completely Whisper's and Silver's fault for the Mimic got away for a long time, and I'm not gonna let that one down.
Of course you wouldn't.
Of course I won't because I'm fucking right. I'm fucking right. If Silver listened to Whisper,
because it's not because you're a zip for Lanolin.
no, because Whisper literally told him, "Wait, we need a little bit more proof or we need a way to make Mimic to show himself." And Silver says, "You know what? Yeah," and jumps into action instead of listening to Whisper. Which when he went in, Whisper literally told him, told him, Silver, don't wait. No, he went in. So basically, mostly Silver's fault. Whisper, yeah, she got in a fight with Yano, in which it's fine, but basically it was mostly Silver's fault. And Yano should are we taking a Yao to say that Yano apologizing to Whisper is justified, but not to Silver. So I'm sorry.
Wait, okay, so did that happen in like 75 or something? Because I didn't read 75.
Yeah, when Silver was doing the tryouts with Mimic about joining the Diamond Cutters.
Okay.
So yeah, it was basically Silver's fault. So and then we have the little talk of Tango and Jewel, which was a cute moment showing their friendship. Belle was saying that she was going to explore the world, and then we have the quote unquote hug, which it was non-consensual because Silver forced then everyone with their power.
Okay. It was okay. That's a little too far.
Knock knock. Any gumshoes here looking to flat-foot it or whatever you call it?
Oh god, 77 time. Yeah. 77. That was a line that I'm pretty sure dominated my entire Twitter feed for like a week. Yeah, 77 was interesting. It was nice to see Sonic with the Chaotix. I thought that was a really interesting pair up, and then we also got to see that Clutch wasn't skinned alive by Eggman. Oof. Did you have any theories back then? Like, did you think Clutch was gonna get turned into Roadkill at all during that time?
Charmy, that's extortion.
We here at the Podcast of Disaster do not condone extortion, but we support it.
I was rather curious about how the issue was going to go. I mean, it already featured Rough and Tumble in the covers to begin with. So like from what I had obviously assumed, I thought that because I didn't really know much, going in. Obviously, like the whole everything with the comics was like very like, ooh, this is it's in pieces. That's what the arc is, and it's being followed up with all these different stories happening. So with with Rough and Tumble being featured there in White Park Grand Chateau, I thought that we would see those these two they did manage to run off from Clutch, and make it out after the events of 75. And what I assumed is that I thought that because there was them in the one cover from Adam and the one cover from Natalie, and I thought they were going to tear down the chateau however they were going to. The covers are very misleading, but I should have known better. I still knew better not to follow the covers because they don't always reflect the interior story. And the covers the preview pages made me assume in some way, shape, or form, and things were kind of just like, oh hey, one surprise after another. Rough and Tumble took over the place. And then it wasn't until the actual comic came out and then find out about Clutch and he's still here. And there was also the fact that in this issue, it revealed that Clutch, after he got kicked out of the chateau at the end of Chow Races, for the longest time, I did not consider the fact that the chateau was owned by him. I thought that he had just simply retired and, made himself such a big presence in the Chow racing scene that he ended up in a penthouse and he's just kind of just a prolonged stay. The rich people will stick around in different buildings and just stuff like that. It was a lot of the theories I had going forward. I mean, I didn't even consider Clutch even still being here. That's the big thing. I didn't consider Clutch even still being back at the chateau after everything that happened with Eggman. And
yeah, we all thought he got turned into Roadkill.
Yeah, we thought that he was at least with him in captivity or something like that. Or the fact that, Rough and Tumble, despite the fact that Clutch was gone, they were still working in no, they weren't working for Clean Sweep. They quit. What I had thought was that they wanted to get their revenge on Clutch because they he ditched them in the boiler room, in the main engine room, and so they decided to like let's take down like his stuff and such. Not the fact them taking it over for themselves, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I think that does make a lot more sense. It is interesting though that we know that Clutch does know that Eggman does have his eyes on him. You know, with that little like that little like thing that he has on his head. When I first saw that, I thought like I thought for some reason that like Eggman like kind of like if you read Archie, like you know like when Sally gets roboticized, like something like that, where like he just like put like a robotic implant in Clutch's head. Or something like that, like he was like controlling him like a puppet. It's not like that, but it's like, you know, he still knows what Clutch is like doing. I will say though, this to me was one of the more enjoyable issues of this arc. I do think that it did get cut in half though, because well, we'll get to that point later. But before we go any further, we had the with comic stuff, we had the open network test for Crossworlds. I remember a lot of people were. This was the PlayStation version, I believe. We actually had an episode covering this, but I guess we covered both open network tests here. We actually played it a little bit for the podcast. It was I will say it was really fun. We'll talk more about Crossrail's release in detail later in the episode. But it was overall just like really nice to have a Sonic racing game that felt like a racing game. As much as I love TSR and it was even the background footage for some of these episodes, there were definitely moments when I was playing the game where it was just like really really annoying to like drive during TSR. Crossroads felt like a breath of fresh air, even though it didn't have a story mode, which I'm like still like salty about. That's like one of the only things I'm gonna spoil about our Crossroads section.
I mean, I don't remember any racing game of Sonic with a history mode.
Yeah. What were your guys' thoughts on the beta tests?
Well, I couldn't play the PlayStation one, but I did get to play the open network test, and I had a lot of fun with that. So there's that at least.
I have fun
I don't know
in
if we're
the
gonna talk
PC
about that
version.
later.
I had fun in the PC version.
I don't really have many thoughts when it comes to the open network test. I couldn't participate, to be honest. I mean, oh wait, the open network test or closed network test? What are we doing here?
Either.
Both, covering both right here since
Both? Okay,
Okay,
we're covering
okay.
both. Then, yeah, no, this game had really cemented itself as the one thing that I was definitely going to have the most fun with this year, and I was right. That was my most anticipated game, despite other things coming out, but I couldn't. I'm looking at you, Nintendo Switch 2. And yeah, no, it's like it was fun. It was fun. It was really fun. It was. However, I want to save all of my overall Crossworlds thoughts for when we get to Crossworlds release. So, all I will say is that the network tests were worth it. A shame I didn't keep. A shame I don't. A shame the methods I used to play those network tests didn't allow me to keep the badges. So that's unfortunate. However, yeah, I am looking forward to when we can just talk about the whole release. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of things that released, I think everyone released a massive what the actual fuck when we found out that Sonic was going to be collaborating with fucking DC of all properties. So in March for National Batman Day, we got the information that Sonic and DC will be having a collaboration that will be going on, including going into next year. And let me just say that I think everyone was just like blown away when that got announced. We got teasers a couple of months back about there's a crossover that's coming soon, but I'm pretty sure none of us thought that it would be with fucking Batman and Superman. Do you guys remember your reactions to when it got revealed?
I was like,
Yeah.
sure, okay, because I wasn't particularly interested.
They
Go
played the
ahead,
trailer when I went to go see the Sonic Symphony, and everyone cheered and was like, "Oh yeah, that's very funny." So I cannot wait for that. Yes.
I thought it was a fan animation originally until I saw this from the official DC account.
Flip.
I was like, no fucking way. Yeah, I did like all the heroes that they chose for like for the characters to interact with. I was surprised to see Silver involved with this because everyone else made sense, but the fact that they gave Silver a spotlight was really nice. Speaking of this, let's just talk about the first issue. The first issue of DCX Sonic, I think is one of the better issues of DCX Sonic overall. It was really just like nuts seeing all these characters that I never thought would interact. Yeah. Just seeing them talk to each other. It's the banter, especially between the Flash and Sonic, were really cool. What were your guys' like thoughts on the first DC Sonic thing?
It was fine.
I'm just gonna be
A
quiet for
decent
this
starter.
part.
Yeah. Yeah, it is to me nut. Like just like everything about that first issue, it just screamed to me like, okay, this should be good, right? Like, right?
He was
Uh,
definitely looking to be a very interesting, like pairing up characters as well as the fact that the story was already like, oh, it catapulted off really fast. And like, I'm cool with fast. Like it was just shaping up to be interesting. That's what I can hope for with these kinds of stories.
yeah, it was definitely something. And then we had the second DCX Sonic, because IDW I believe got delayed this month.
Yeah, because they were working in both comics at the same time.
Yeah,
This was the Dark Side fight, right?
yeah. This was the first Flash versus Dark. This was like the first this was the first time we saw them go up against Darkseid, and we see that Darkseid's interested in the Chaos Emeralds. I thought that was pretty funny. It was definitely just something. Seeing Shadow and Batman, like we can talk all days about the dynamics, and if you want us to hear like go further into detail about it, I highly suggest you you read our reviews of what we were going up against when we were reviewing it. But yeah, it was genuinely nuts just seeing all these characters interact with, and that fight with Darkseid at the end was really cool. And then we had like the iconic Shadow art where it's him doing the chaos control thing. It was really cool seeing that. I remember like for like a week everyone was like redrawing that and like with different
Relation.
characters. Yeah, it was like it was really cool.
Then we have the War Intergo Kaboom.
Yeah, we have the fact of the matter is everyone's dead at the end of this issue. That we see them interact with Mr. Terrific and like, oh yeah, everyone's gone. Like goodbye to your world. It's all over. Like even so to this day, I still remember like Shadow's reaction. It's like he just like damn. Well, it was funny. Next up, on the docket is we have 78 of IDW, which was the one with Surge, Amy, Kit, and Tails and Blaze.
Yeah,
This right
one's the
here
best.
was the best issue to come out this year. Genuinely, I'm being dead serious. The best issue from the comic this year.
A pretty good team
Yeah,
up.
I fully agree with that.
A pretty good team up.
I
New
love 78
character.
for so many reasons.
Yeah, we got a pretty good team up, a new character, and the return of the monkey.
Guys, I was so excited for this issue to come out because like Tails, Blaze were there, and then like Surge and seeing all of those characters get, I was like, holy shit, this issue is gonna be peak. And then
Yeah.
reading it, oh yeah, I had a lot of fun reading that.
Evan wrote this one, right? Or was
Nope,
this-
Ian.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember which one wrote it, but yeah, it was really fun. Just like to me, I think this was Ian's best writing for of the entire. This was my favorite Ian story for the entire year. We'll get to my favorite I think we'll get to my favorite Evan stuff later, but I loved everything that was in that was present here. Like just seeing Blaze and Surge interact was honestly just pure gold. The fact that we almost had Surge call Blaze a stuck-up bitch.
Honestly, people when they heard about Surge and Blaze interacting, people were saying, "Oh, they're gonna fight, we're gonna have a fight," but not we have a cooperation, which is better. And then we have Kid teaming up with Blaze, and then we get a little nod,
That
well,
was
a
so
little
cool.
side of Blaze with a poncho, which I'm not gonna lie, she looks cool with that.
Yeah. And then we find out that Kit's been trying to like orchestrate these events to help out Surge. Honestly, that's gonna be something really interesting to look into once we get Surge coming back. We don't know when that is gonna be because this is as of recording this, I believe this was the last time that we saw Surge and Kit,
Kind of.
So far.
which was 7 months ago.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
also where we
I mean, we could say that kinda is the last time, but we're gonna talk about it more later.
Yeah. I am sad that this issue did kind of go under the radar besides all the Surge and Blaze stuff, because I do agree with what Floof said that this was the best issue of the year. Like, this was just like the art was great, the team ups and the dynamics were great. Just everything about this issue to me was exciting and enjoyable. And then we had the build up to the next thing we're gonna talk about, but first we have to talk about the third DC issue, which had the heroes dress up as the DC characters, and I will say this was really fun. Like this seeing Silver as a Green Lantern, seeing Knuckles be Superman, seeing Amy be Wonder Woman. And to this day, my favorite bit throughout this entire run was Lex thinking that the Green Emerald was kryptonite, and that would be Knuckles' weakness, to me, that was like the funniest thing. And then seeing Shadow just kick the Joker's ass was pretty funny. And then we have Sonic beating up Reverse Flash.
Yeah. Anyways, the next thing was Chow's Tale.
Yeah, Chow Tales. Fun fact: this is the only episode throughout the entire year I had no presence in. This was the only episode that I actually missed of my own podcast because I was in Dallas during this time. I was attending a business event for my career. Court and Lord M, you guys are actually the stars of that episode. So do you guys have any changing thoughts on Chow Tales now this has been a couple months later?
I just kind of thought. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I guess that's still my opinion now. I mean, it just happened. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
I did go back and revisit it after we talked about it on the podcast, and I will say it was really cool. I thought it was cute. The animation was great. It just makes me want to break down Sega's door and beg them to make a 2D show again. Who's gonna join me in storming Sega HQ in virtual reality?
I mean, I enjoy Chow's Tale, but I think it could have been better if Sonic wasn't there because he barely did anything during the entire series, only at the last part when he fought Eggman. But otherwise, he was like kind of there.
Yeah, and speaking about anticipated fights, we have finally arrived at what was probably the most anticipated issue of IDW since the Metal Virus climax. We had Whisper versus Mimic.
And I didn't actually like read it, but I heard it was very, very underwhelming.
Yeah, to me this was the we went from the best issue of IDW this year into my opinion the worst issue of IDW this year. I don't know if that's a hot take, but
yes.
you could start to really tell that they were running thin. And it just felt overall rushed. Like the way that everything was getting built up. Like you had Silver, Whisper, and Tangle there, the two most important people to Whisper, and then just like even when I reread it, like I remember I actually rewatched our review of it, and like just hearing me like still to this day, like this to me is the most disappointing issue of IDW. I wouldn't call it like the worst, but like it was still to me like the most overall disappointing issue of IDW, especially since they like if this is the way Mimic goes out, then okay. But man, like I just felt like there could have been like this should have been a 2-parter. This should have had a lot more time and attention towards it. Anyone else have thoughts on 79?
Don't look at me. I'm not saying anything.
Again, I didn't actually like read it. So.
I'm not saying anything.
All right, I didn't.
Come on.
Sorry, man.
And Flu said it's probably like beep, 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 like cursing out at the wazoo.
Yeah, like you think like, you know, the big climax for one of the longest running stories in the comic book, and it I mean, I didn't hate it. Just the execution needed saving. And I don't know.
What you're saying is you weren't overly happy with it either.
Not really.
It was like eating a bag of sour cream and onion chips. It's okay, but it's like this could be way better.
Yeah. I think that's definitely actually a good way for me to summarize it. Really, I'm sure other people would say otherwise.
I think this is around the time where you can really start to see that. I think Ian was starting to get like run thin with like writing, because with what we know now, like the fact that he was probably working on Whisper versus Mimic and the DC stuff and Crossworlds at the same time. I guess we could say that he probably had a lot on his plate. And I feel like this is where like like you could probably tell like this is probably where he had like a lot of like the focus towards DC and the Crossworlds.
Mm-hmm.
But at like the same time, it's like, man, like this was something that we were building up for like 5 years. I think the concept of Mimic offing himself is okay. That's gonna sound terrible out of context, but I like the fact that Mimic like making sure that he was the one that decided the way that he wanted to go out was cool. But at the same time, it's like, did we really need like in the Whisper versus Mimic fight? You wonder who threw the most punches.
Tangle.
Yeah, I mean there were cool moments. But
that's not what we were advertised.
We weren't advertised Tangle beating up. We were advertised this to be a mainly. What was the point of Whisper insinuating to Silver by handling Mimic by any means necessary? Like, but now Tangle's just okay with murder? Cool. Man, like, I don't want this just to turn into me just, like, if you want to go hear my whole, like, uncensored, just, like, pure rant of 79, like, I'll recreate it something here, but I just remember just being so annoyed with it.
Like, during the review?
Yeah. and even rereading it, I was like, what? So it's like, so to put this into like you're telling me that you were advertising this for years. Getting like I understand wanting to get it over with, but like last issue was the same amount, and that felt a lot more like obviously it wasn't like a big fight scene, like it wasn't an extended issue. But it's like, come on, guys. Like there was like the next issue you probably could have like set like 80. Issue 80 was the start of a new arc. You could have well, depending on who you ask, you could have had 80 be the finale and just like had more like I don't know what Sega and IDW said to Ian and the crew, but it's like, come on, guys. Like if you wanted to fix this, maybe cut down on Tangle fighting Mimic, have that actually be towards more of Whisper. Maybe cut out maybe make the Cream part shorter, because to me the Cream part, like the opening is good. It's just the middle and ending that just leave a sour taste in your mouth. Where it's like, okay, cool. Okay, so now have you can still have like these moments of, do we really need Mimic running around people? Like if you want to do that, like have him shapeshift. Hey, yeah, we had that Barry cameo, which was cool with him turning into Barry, but at the same time, it's like, man, the fact that I understand Tangle and Whisper like are in Tangle and Whisper were kind of in on it together. That's like what Tangle Whisper's miniseries was about. But at the same time, so now now Tangle's throwing more punches. Okay, cool. And I guess Tangle did stop Whisper from killing Mimic at the end. But at the same time, Mimic went out on his own terms. So there was like the more I think about this issue, the more angry I get. But it is nice, I guess, to see Whisper get finally over it and get introduced into Crossworlds, where she can run over modded versions of Mimic for fun.
And a reminder, and a reminder for everyone: this guy here, the main host, likes Tangle. He does.
Yes.
So you can the frustration is something.
Yes. Like
Well,
man. Like this felt like a fan fiction more than like I don't like to call like I love I enjoy Ian Flynn. I like his writing. I read a brief bit of Dragoon and I thought it was solid. And then when I like you could definitely tell. Hopefully he was crunched. But at the same time, did you like this isn't Stranger Things, man? You had 4 years to figure this out.
Probably also, if you know, considering how things went, I'd imagine that there was some things that came up in development. I mean, I mean not to say I'm going to be excusing whatever happened. I'm just wanting to say that some cases can come up, like say implementing new storylines involving a brand new character that was recently introduced no less than 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh man.
well, well,
And
my-
I believe this was the last issue of Scattered Pieces. I don't know if 80 counts because that does have the Chaotix and Sonic's like return part, but that kicks off that next thing. So I guess the Tangle and Jewel plotline got cut, and we know we're getting more of the Bell storyline next year. But I'm guessing the Tangle and Jewel, unless that's going to be last. But at the same time, with the way everything was framing, that is a weird choice. But I'm guessing the Tangle and Jewel part got cut. I mean, the Tangle and Lanolin. I mean, the Jewel and Lanolin arc part of the story got cut. So
Well,
sorry about that,
my-
Gordon.
Never mind. Next we have DC4.
Yep, DC4. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of where you could kind of like I thought this was fine, but I don't think it was as good as the first 3 issues. Having Batman beat up Metal Sonic though was funny. And seeing the Deadly Six made me put my fist through a wall. You listen, there's 3 things. Listen, I hate the Deadly Six. Like every time that I see them, I'm just like, okay, you. Like I would rather 100% Sonic 06 than play Lost World for an hour.
Damn, that's saying a lot.
Want to be Mario characters. Want to be Rabbids characters. These are wannabe Rabbids characters. Ugh. Yeah. Seeing Eggman go up against Superman was cool though. That to me was my favorite part of the issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on like any of these because I just didn't really care. I'm sorry.
What about you, Floof? Did you like this?
Issue 4,
Yeah, issue 4 of DC.
I will say, I will say that issue 4 definitely gave me a few things to work with when it comes to Sonic. I don't I don't want to say that I'm going to be considering, because DC X Sonic is its own thing. That should be very clear enough. It has no connection. It has no, well, it has influences from the games and IDW as well. I wouldn't want to say that it has like canonical connections. I feel like Ian was trying to convey that, but some people didn't really get that across, unfortunately. But I liked the issue, especially with some of the stuff that it introduced. Like one of the things I was really happy to see was that the scene, like as much as people hate it, the scene with Metal Sonic and Batman over in Radical Highway, and with the caption saying "in between Central City and Westopolis," that makes me really happy because I love the world building of Sonic the Hedgehog. And if any of that even holds up, remotely holds up, then by golly, I'm going to keep using it. Like I've been wanting a proper confirmation that Westopolis is a proper United Federation city, but the fact that both of them are literally right next to each other and Radical Highway is their in between, give me more. And no, to be honest, I didn't really care so much for the plot. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's the fact that the elements in the story were more engaging than anything. Eggman mixing his heroes fleet with his forces fleet, that excited me more than seeing Superman go up against Eggman. I have priorities. Leave me alone.
No. But yeah. And then we
I
finished
respect
up
that. Sorry.
back to back with DC 5. The final, as of right now, this is the final issue of DC X Sonic.
Well, considering it's been what, like a few months or something, I'd imagine that's where they intend the series to end, but I could be wrong.
There's some I'm not gonna go into leaks, but it was publicly announced that it wasn't the end of the collaboration. Yeah, but the final fight was cool. Overall, I will say DC X Sonic was really cool. Having Super Sonic go up against Darkseid was cool. Power scaling be damned. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And then we get a post-credit scene with Lex Luthor working with Eggman. That is not gonna end well. Imagine if yeah, that is not gonna end well. But yeah, that was all of DC X Sonic, and besides Crossroads, I would say that this was like the event for Sonic this year. Sorry, Sonic Rumble. But it came out last year. Yeah, that to me was like the last big thing. To me, this was the big thing for Sonic this year. We didn't make an episode. We were supposed to make an episode going over like overall thoughts on DC X Sonic, just like going over like the arc review. But I guess we can do that a little bit here. It was fun. It definitely gets a little weaker towards the end, but this was massive not only for Sonic, the Sonic brand, but just like for the public perception of Sonic in general. DC fans, from what I've heard, who haven't touched Sonic, enjoyed it. So there's that. Overall, pretty fine. Anyone else have any thoughts about the funny DC?
No, not really.
I liked it. Just go ahead, Gordon. Go ahead.
No, I don't have anything to say. Go ahead.
I just thought it was a fun, like, little bit to bit thing. It could have definitely been like a lot more higher stakes, but like it was hype seeing Supersonic go up against Darkseid. That was fun. And if anything, I'm fairly certain that the comic will be getting a sequel. I'm actually very confident that it will be getting a sequel, considering some of the things I've been seeing lately. And aside from that, it's like it's just fun. Like IDW is a different case for me specifically, but with DCX Sonic, I can just not. I like okay. Again, I did say that issue 4 introduced some cool elements that I do want to take into consideration for the actual canon of Sonic between the games and IDW. But in terms of the story of DCX Sonic, I can just let it be. Like it is its own thing, and I can just enjoy it for what it is. It's the Sonic the Hedgehog cast interacting with the DC Comics cast. That is what I can most enjoy. I will say, like, some things kind of dipped in quality, but it's like it picked back up as well. Like, issue 1 was strong. Issue 2 was kind of eh. Issue 3 was really strong, seeing the Sonic cast interact with everyone from DC. Issue 4 was sort of eh with DC going up against the Sonic characters. And I think it's also because they filled out with Darkseid's children and everything, and his army and everything. And we didn't have a lot of like villain activity in Sonic, and unfortunately that is just due to the fact that not a lot of the villains can actually be used, especially for ones that did show up in recent times. But again, unfortunately, it is because they cannot be used for specific reasons. Thanks, Sega. And and also because of the course that IDW is going on. So Starline, this was after Starline. This was literally during Mimic. We know what Surge and Kid are up to right now. We know what happened to Clutch. Like, yeah, I feel it would have been, and even if like what if we could have introduced a certain cast member that was introduced recently, but I'm sure we'll get into that later. If she was introduced earlier, around this time for DC, I'm not sure if she would have even gone up against some of those some of the heroes or the villains, because I don't think it really counts. She's not that kind of villain. But yeah, it was just like, ooh, this is exciting. Oh, okay, we're just chilling out. Oh, this is exciting again. So, but hey, look, a big fight, and then everything's back to normal. Like that is literally bread and butter. Here you go. That's my thoughts.
Well, yeah, that was now we have we're back on the main track with IDW 80, which was kicking off the next plot, which starts the road to 100.
I liked issue 80. I actually really did like it. I was hesitant at
way
the
better than
time,
the previous
because
one.
this was Ian's return to writing Shadow and something, and a lot of us were really skeptical over a couple of things. But it was actually really good. It was really good, and you know, some people, yeah, some people, um, they were also very hesitant, and I don't blame them. But like, it was good. It really was. And you also, and like even some people who aren't like that big of IDW fans, and even people who outright like dislike IDW, they liked this issue. I've seen some people like actually like the issue. Like it actually, like, to them, it seemed as if Ian was actually improving. And to me, it was the most fun that Shadow has been in a while. And
You can
I was
definitely
like
tell that
very
this was written
hopeful for
after
what things
Shadow
are going to
Gems.
happen in the future. Um, like I think I guess you could say that the Scattered Pieces arc was literally the exact same thing with DC Sonic. It was like, oh, this is exciting. It's like, oh, like at least 77 like was like stagnant, but it was like a good stagnant. It was like, okay, so there are things developing here, and that is very interesting. And then 78 was awesome. I would literally want something like 78 again. And then 79 dipped, unfortunately. And we all wish it could have been something like really, really good, as it was like it was advertised to be, but unfortunately it kind of missed the mark just by a little bit. It's like, it's like archery. Like you like at the very least you hope it's like in between the target and the outside circle, but it actually hits the second to last circle. Um I mean, at least it hits the board, but and then 80, picks it back up again. And it's like, oh yeah, this is good. This is really good. And just want to preface this because it makes it, because like it does make me sound a little bit like I'm advocating for like the issues that were drawn by Aaron rather than the ones drawn by Adam. Um, that's not true at all. I love, I will always love everything the artists give to the comic, and I do love Adam Bryce Thomas's stuff. It's just that unfortunately Adam didn't really get the stronger Ian written stories in comparison to Aaron in this arc.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, please don't be dissing my boy Aaron. He is a great artist.
Why would
Well,
you're like why actually no. I'm gonna rephrase that. I think it's offensive you'd assume I'd ever offend Adam. It's offensive to me that you think I would do something like that.
Yeah.
Like-
I will say that you could definitely probably tell that this issue was written after Shadow Gens, because I think that was the one where you could see Ian like massively improve with writing Shadow. Would you folks agree with that?
I meant
don't really have many
Aaron. I
thoughts, but
meant
it's like,
Aaron
I guess,
Hammerstrom. Sorry.
well,
I did like it. I did. It's just yeah.
Yeah, 80 was interesting. It also started people shipping SBO and Rouge because of that one panel, which I thought was funny.
It's
that's
Yeah,
nothing of ships. Okay.
Yeah. It was really fun. This is also where we get to see a certain probably if this is Starline, I am jumping in my pool. Um with apparently someone hiding and has almost all the emeralds. They have 6 out of 7 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we move to
this day,
one.
I think this is either Starline or Infinite. I don't think it's gonna be a new character with the fact that they know about Surge tells me it can't be a new character.
yeah, no, yeah, you're right. At least that's what we thought.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was very interesting. Because yeah, like the coffin with the Chaos Emeralds and the spying on not Sergeant K, Knuckles, Blaze and Silver, Eggman, like what?
Yeah.
You,
The fact that they know about Kit makes me the fact they know about Surgeon Kit. It's like okay, they know something. They know something. Yeah. Then we had the fun and really funny issue 81.
We did have the fun issue 81, and it was fun. It genuinely was. Again, 81, I was kind of, 81, it didn't really hit as many highs as 80 did in comparison, but it's like it did feel like a really good story from Evan, and I was really excited for what it was going to hold. Like everything, like the whole mystery and everything behind it. Like it felt like yeah, the building up was happening. We were introduced to Lunar, a brand new character who comes from the city of Sequin, a brand new place, and they have just baffled the entire Basilica audience. And now Sonic Tails are going up against Shadow and Rouge. And you know what? Now that I think about it, the whole issue felt a little bit like Sonic Rivals in some sort of weird way. But it's like like them going across the city and everything. Like it was fun. And then like the artwork, Minnow Kim paired up with Yasmin Ata, like loved everything like clashing with each other. The colors were great. Um, Min stuff is always great. Like you will never go wrong with something drawn by Minnow Kim.
Yeah.
And like
Speaking of things
Eggman
being
coming
drawn,
in to the city with his new mecha. Like I was excited. I really was. I was really looking forward to what was going to be happening.
speaking of drawn, I did forget to mention that our very own co-host Konga had an artwork featured in 79.
Oh, ain't that so nice? I'll have to look back and see what it is, but
It's
that's
the
very
whisper
nice to
drawing.
know.
It's a whisper drawing it's the whisper drawing in 79 in the letter squad.
I was gonna go check myself, but okay.
Take my word for it. Yeah. 81 80 and 81 were fun. Then we words. Then we have 82, which to me is also really fun. To me, this was my favorite Evan story. Just everything that was going on. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was really fun. And the build up to the next part with Eggman was really cool.
Admittedly, I got to read like all these issues. I've only read 76. I only saw like a few pages of 77. I read 88, and that's pretty much it, unfortunately. But I gotta rectify that.
But yeah, 82 was fun. I loved 82. Flooful, what were your thoughts on 82?
A lot of it is because the artwork. I was really happy to see Gigi get to draw a whole issue. And it's one of the few little comics where it's like Gigi went out of their way to do all of their pencils and inks on traditional paper, and I thought that was really awesome. Because like I love seeing more of the traditional artworks put into the comic, a la the paintings by Natalie Haynes, among other things. And I was, getting to involve Soleil's parents, as we find out that Lunar is the alter ego of Soleil, an alter of theirs, and I was really excited to get to see more about their family, especially with like how things are going, and the joke about there being like like Sonic being a cryptid to a certain group of people, and they're like trying to spot him out around the world. Like that's funny. I like that. That's very funny. Like again, it's where the elements of the whole, yeah, like the elements of the comic come into play, and I like it a lot more. um I don't want to say unfortunately, because I do like what they introduce in the comic, but it's like, yeah, the elements in the story is kind of like stronger than the story itself. And um with that, it's again like, you like, it was like I was saying with Scattered Pieces, like you really could have thought that they could have been longer. Like, yeah, I was gonna say to you, JCR, is that like Scattered Pieces definitely could have benefited from it being as long as Phantom Riders, because Phantom Riders was a 7-issue story in comparison to like the shortening amounts of stories we were getting. So like, Scattered Pieces went back to the usual 5 that we had gotten from Urban Warfare and Overpowered, and then we went down to 3, and it felt like, oh, we're going to be getting a trial by fire case, but it's a bigger storyline. And 82 was kind of fumbling. I'm not gonna lie, it was fumbling along the way. Like it started strong. It started strong from 81's end, and then it just went. It started rolling down a hill. It's like losing a tire that you were trying to replace on a car.
That's why I don't drive.
And then yeah, um um I like in certain cases I feel like some things could have been omitted to make space for like the rest of the actual storyline going forward. Like um I feel like Shadow and Rouge's little moments there in the city could have been taken out. I don't think like that was necessary. And like we could have dedicated more time to Tails talking to Yaw, Pitch, and Roll, and a little bit more time of Lunar and Soleil's in relation to Apogee and Perigee, the parents. I just feel like there were certainly some things that could have been like changed around. Like I also would have considered yeah, I also would have considered yeah, the chase to be been a little bit longer, and then yeah, the confrontation with Shadow and Rouge to have been yeah, the confrontation with Shadow and Rouge to be a little bit not as long. Like I don't know, like as much as it is like it is fun to see Sonic and Shadow fights, but it's like sometimes Sonic and Shadow fighting has kind of been done here and there. It's like it's not as surprising anymore. And like if I knew that they were going to end up fighting on the bridge, like I don't know, I feel like we could have just like not included that in, especially if like it could have been just like I don't know, like instead of the fight on the bridge, it could have been more of like yeah, Shadow shows up and pins Soleil to get the emerald, and then Apogee and Perigee come to protect Soleil, and then I don't know, it's just I don't know. It just the confrontation between Sonic and Shadow for Soleil's safety felt needless. Again, I'm more focusing on the fact that there should have been more time for other things in the story, rather than Sonic and we technically, yeah, no, that it really felt needless, especially since we already got that in 81, and like Sonic and Shadow should really just be like, you know, they were fine with working each other in 80, but I guess in the sense of when it comes to a Chaos Emerald, Shadow takes it a little bit more serious, like even more seriously. But I don't know. And to be fair, nothing. It just kind of stagnates from there because as we go on from 82,
We go on from 82 to the Crossworlds release.
yeah, we
I
get that
forgot to
little
mention
in
that
between.
after
Yeah,
81.
we get an in between between stories with a lot of racing.
Yeah. I remember that we were racing off to actually cover this because there was like panic with this one because of just how like chaotic it was. I don't know if you guys remember the initial recording of it, but it was like everything. But yeah, I loved Crossworlds. I still somewhat play it sometimes. Little brother loves it, and it gave us probably the coolest thumbnail of the year for Bryce.
Mm.
What about you guys? What are your thoughts on Crossworlds if you've played it?
It's a great game. I love it. I mean, maybe not like my favorite game of all time or anything, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. I'm really glad that I picked it up.
It is a lot of
Well,
fun. Oh, not again.
Listen, this is the podcast of disaster for a reason.
As I was going to say, well, actually no, someone was going to go ahead of me. Court, was that you?
No, I think it was Lord M. I thought.
Lord, go ahead.
Well, now he's muted.
Lord, come back. Say something, please.
I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
get your thoughts out.
Damn it. Okay. Well then, um, yeah. Okay. Crossworlds. Oh gosh, most fun I've had. I've played with so many friends. I've interacted with so many racers all around the world. It's been fun participating in the festivals. The festivals are what bring me back to the game, and I'm glad they do because like I'm always down for like free incentives. The top 110 stuff is out of my league. But when it comes to like the badges, the stickers, the horn, the aura, like yes, I'm always down for it, and I'm gonna be unlocking all of them when I'm able to. I almost had a bit of a close call, funny enough, with the SpongeBob one, but thankfully my little brother came in to save me. And yeah, no, playing with all the characters, it's been fun. Like I love playing as Eggpawn. I love playing as the Creeper, and soon I can't wait to play as Inky, because I really do want to play as the ghosts. And when
I
Tangle
thought
and
they were
Whisper
gonna
come
put
out, you bet
Indy
I'm
Original
actually
in
going to be putting them with their machines. And like I can't wait for I can't wait for whoever else gets added in the future. Like the big thing is that I really hope, and thankfully the director of, I believe, what is it, the creative director of the game said that we're going to be getting more content next year. Please, more tracks. That is literally the only thing I have a gripe with about the game right now, aside from the tracks we're getting from the season pass DLC, like free tracks and new environments from Sonic, like more Sonic tracks, or give us the Sega tracks, like more of like Jet Set Radio, Samba de Amigos, Super Monkey Ball. Bring in some of the past ones. Like bring in bring in Shinobi, bring in House of the Dead, bring in something from Fantasy Zone. Go crazy, do something from
Earthworm Jim.
huh?
Earthworm Jim.
Okay, yeah, sure. Why the heck not? It's like just more of that sort of stuff. Like bring Afterburner back, do Outrun Bay. Just like
Alex
just
Kidd.
some fun little things.
You like Skin Court?
Alex Kidd, like the
Oh, I thought
original.
you said I
Sega
like
Kidd.
Skin.
Oh, Alex Kidd, yeah.
Yeah, the original Sega mascot. I thought you said that you like Skin Court.
Let's just move on.
Yeah. We had the hey well, I guess we could finish off talking about the comics. So let's talk about the Rumble in the room. Finally comes
Rumble.
out.
What about the Chaotix comic?
But we're gonna cover the comics last.
Okay.
Yeah, we had we had Rumble finally come out after like 4 years. It's fun.
Like, as much as I said that I didn't have any words to say in regards to 79, just because of the many words you had to say, JCR. I actually genuinely just don't have any words to say about Rumble. Like, genuinely, I don't have anything to say on it. Like, we spent all that time waiting, and it's like, yep, the game's here. That's it.
Yay.
It just happened. It just happened.
Well, can I speak now?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Rumble, thankfully, it's actually a good game. We had a few unnecessary controversies with people being, skill issue, but mostly we have a lot of content. We have with Spangle added to the game. We have Surge and a purple that purple study that nobody cares. And what else? What else? We have a few events from the beta return for a brief moment, and a few new maps and game mode added. The game is fun. The only issue, the people still complaining because of the Rink limitation, which like the Sega said, they added that to prevent people to be over addicted to the game and go outside. Not my words, but theirs. And yeah, people still arguing the monetization, saying the game is pay to win when these people are just skill issue. They just have to play the game and that's it. You get it in one day. But yeah, that's basically why this is actually a pretty fun game and people should enjoy it.
Okay. Now it's time for the home stretch where we talk about the final 3 comics that released for this year, starting off with
actually 82 comics, because you guys speak 80, 81, and 82. So go ahead and finish up with 83.
we still have to talk about the Chaotix 30th. I'm gonna let you guys talk about this.
Well, I didn't read it, so I don't have anything to say about it. I didn't read like more comics this year.
Well, it appears
I thought it was neat. I thought it was neat. I know Floof probably has something to say about Chaotix, but yeah, it was fun. I liked the different art styles, and it was overall cool.
Well, I enjoy.
I will say that 78 was the best comics to come out this year. It definitely was. Just overall in general with the comic contents and everything, Chaotix was definitely the best story that we got. Without a doubt, it was the Chaotix just doing their thing. It introduced new characters and introduced just a cool environment with the museum and everything. Amy was fantastic in it. Oh man, Amy was great. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of good fun. That's all it is, really, and that's all it really needed to be.
Yeah, and we have a really good set of action as well. The Chaotix being detectives for once, because we haven't seen that in the games, sadly. But yeah, at least we get that in the comics. Not only that, we can introduce a new character, aka also a new villain, that for me it deserves more fans because it seems to flew under the radar. Her name is Enigma, and honestly, I want to see more of her because it caught my attention. A new Jackal, and this one is not lame. I'm in.
Yeah. And now it's time to talk about. Did we talk about 82?
Yes.
I think we did.
Yes, you guys
Okay.
speak about it.
And I guess now we have one last thing to talk about, which is the thing we just most recently talked about on the podcast of disaster. So this should be quick. 83.
I already said everything I have to say. So go watch the episode and hear me rant about, that horrible thing that curses all in the comics.
Shadow.
I guess you didn't like that issue then. 83.
I'll be honest, I didn't know like the whole arc because why Shadow is here? Like, okay, you drop it in 80, I understand, okay. Maybe we can have Shadow, but we don't need it. We don't need the whole arc. But wait, it's still the year of Shadow, so I guess people cannot yet go the disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah. 83 was fun. Me and Floof talked about it. Yeah. That's everything I believe for Sonic in 2025. If you guys had to rate this year 1 through 10 for Sonic, what would you say it would be? Personally, I'm around the 6 or 7 range.
Please tell me that's not like your honest thoughts and you didn't just say that for memes.
That is actually, I think it's honestly a 7 out of 10 year for Sonic. I think everything was really good this year. Everything that happened was really cool.
This has certainly been one of the most up and down years of the franchise. I mean, good, yes, but like the bads were certainly something to talk about. But there were a lot of goods. There were still a lot of goods.
Well, honestly,
I guess I could also agree with the 7 out of 10. I don't know. Sorry, Lorden.
All right. If nobody has anything to say before I pull up the gun, honestly, this year was decent at best. There were a lot of bad things. For example, if I can say it now, the whole DC thing, it was alright. It's not my favorite thing, but I guess they can fix it in the sequel. Like I said before, this arc of Lunar was fine, but it was sadly way down with the unnecessary putting of Shadow. I would prefer they show more of Lunar and his family, because I was expecting that was the main focus, Lunar, and and so the whole thing, the whole dynamic. But no, it was fixed in the span of one comic, which completely disappointed. The Chaotix, Chao Tales, and the Wispango issue were the best thing ever. 76 was fine, but man, I think it was the problem was so very quick as well with the Soleil thing. Like they could have been expanded a little bit more, but all right. Sadly that we got the Yano and Yugo thing canceled, but well, I guess some people don't like the ship, yes, because if you remember last year, people were throwing shit at her without even reading the comic. The whole meme of Mimic is such a good manipulator that manipulate the audience, which honestly that's my favorite meme, because imagine writing a character so evil and so good at his craft that also you fool the audience. I actually love that, and I think honestly that even though I don't like Mimic, I kind of enjoy that, and it's kind of in one of my favorites, honestly. Then we have the games. Like I said before, Rumble and Crossbow are the great thing. They have a few issues, but they're good, and I enjoy them. All right, go ahead, fellas.
Okay. Well, I think that'll be. I think everyone said their pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to the series, it's like, yeah, I have many things to talk about, but it's like, out of all the good I've mentioned, yeah, those are just my thoughts. I don't really have anything else to comment, so yeah, it's like the series we've had a lot of ups. There have been significant downs, but there have been a lot of ups, and we can celebrate the ups. But but sometimes we also do have to recognize the downs, because those are because it's very important to understand where the criticism comes from, and also understand that people can go too far a little bit times.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I guess that'll do it for this episode of the Podcast of Disaster, the final episode of the year for the Podcast of Disaster. As always, be good to yourselves, others, and mothers. And if everything goes accordingly, this episode will be released on New Year's Day.
Yay.
So, perfect timing. Happy New Year, everybody. And as always, thank you for watching the Podcast of Disaster. As always, be good to yourselves, others, and mothers. And we will see you next time, next year.
In 2026.
Yep.
7.
Let's make it a better one, everybody.
Bye,
I mean,
everybody.
I mean, our actions can't get the better of us, right?
I doubt it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.